so Grave Titan's just, like, unnecessary. Setting up a stream is super easy. Especially if you haven't tried Streamlabs OBS, you should try Streamlabs OBS. They have a bunch of predefined scenes and stuff in there that are super easy to edit. It's unfortunately a mulligan, I think. I'm gonna keep. This is a similar hand, but I'm gonna keep it with a scry. Get an extra look at a land here. Our lack of Path to Exiles are probably going to be pretty bad here. This deck is an Esper deck in the same way that Mardu Pyromancer is a Mardu deck. It's mostly in name only. Our White Splash is basically just for Lingering Souls. Oh. Well, that's probably not OBS's fault. It's probably your hardware's fault. It's a green-white 3-drop from the new set, Night of Autumn. That sounds right. Alright, do they have a Delve threat to follow? Do they have Tasigur to follow this up? We're probably just dead. Because Cast Down can't hit Tasigur. Tasigur and Thalia are the cards that this card misses in the format. Let's do this, see what we get. We've now flipped over a bunch of lands. Stream Decker, yep. Thank you for the reminder. Ah, it's a Pebkek error. Reminds me of my days doing IT. Lots of Pebkek errors when you do IT. We're dead, chat. Very, very dead. What's going on, Tom? We've been smushed, chat. We've been smushed. Everything is Pepcac, just sometimes it happens to be your keyboard and chair. That's a great way to look at it. Awesome, Ecstasy. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm gonna make a how to play video this weekend, I think, and then maybe tomorrow or Sunday night I'll do like a couple of Magic Leagues and then play some Warhammer after it. God, my arm is like more sore where I got this tetanus shot today than it was yesterday when I actually got the shot. Seems like decent. It like obviously needs a second land, but it's got a lot of cards that we want. That's awesome, Trevor. I'm a good little shill. So we're gonna get Watery Grave and get some Scour on here. We bricked and died, chat. I think Champion of Wits is actually good enough for Modern. Yeah, I think so. We played Blue-White Tron. If you haven't watched that league, it was my pick of the day 2 days ago. And Champion of Wits really felt like it overperformed in the deck. It It was a card that was just, like, consistently good. Even, like, we didn't have Tron in a bunch of games. It just, like, hit 7 land drops. It just kept being good that way, too. Bitter Blossom's not a card that's very good in Modern either. Modern's not a format about, like, playing long, grindy games of Magic. It's a format that's about, like, killing people and being mana efficient. And, like, Bitter Blossom doesn't really do that. Bitter Blossom is a card that, like, helps you die more slowly in my experience in Modern. It's a great draw. And again, Champion of Wits is what lets us be, like, a really small splash for white in this deck. Because we get to do this and just, like, champion through Lingering Souls here. So we can flash them back without actually having white mana. So if they attack here, I'm definitely going to just trip block, I think. They want to burn removal on any of these creatures I have in play. I'm pretty okay with that, I think. They have 6 cards in their hand still, though, which is kind of scary. Thankfully, I'm still at 17, which is nice. And it's not even just, like, the fact that it's a looting attached to the body. The thing you do on the backside, too, is pretty relevant as well. Well, I guess now that I drew... Since I have Tasigur next turn, maybe I don't want to trade here. Because, like, Tasigur just, like, keeps this checked, which is nice. So if I flash back Lingering Souls, I can then Tasigur for 2, which is nice. Maybe, but, like, at that point, shouldn't you just play Grixis Delver? Or Temur Delver? I don't know. You probably want to splash. We've played both Temur Delver and Grixis Delver on stream before, and those have both felt like very reasonable Magic decks in the past to me. I'm going to attack with this, I think. We have Liliana, the Last Hope, to rebuy stuff as well. Hey, look, they put our other champion in the bin. Thanks, I guess. Cast Down's a great pickup. Was a great pickup. Probably not. Every time I play a tempo deck without Lightning Bolt in it, my feedback at the end is, why are we playing a deck without Lightning Bolt in it? Just, like, feels absurdly lackluster to not have. So I'm going to block here, chump here, and then next turn, if they have a Bolt to finish this off, we'll, like, go Lily, down tick, replay Tasigur. Maybe, but probably not as a tempo deck. Like, giving your opponent a land is kind of like the inverse of what a tempo deck wants to be doing. And if they don't have a Bolt or a Collective Brutality to finish this off, we get to Liliana shrink this, and then we're just, like, on defense really well next turn. This might be a Collective Brutality to finish the Tasigur off. They have Bolt into something else. They have another Delve Threat here. Another Delve Threat's pretty... Yeah, it's another Delve Threat. That's pretty terrifying for us. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and play Liliana and spin her backwards. Pick Tasigur up, put Tasigur into play. Zombie Fish. It's like a bigger Tasigur, chat. It's like a bigger Tasigur. Keep my champion in there. You're me, Yugi boy. This is all I got. I like Thought Scour Mage in Blue-Red Tempo. You should watch our last couple of leagues with the deck if you haven't, to watch my opinion form on that card as we play it. My latest Blue-Red Tempo list can be found on my website, as with all of my latest deck lists, and my latest list does have Thought Scour Mage in it, because I like it. I think it is a good inclusion. Flamewake Phoenix is really annoying here. They're probably going to send it at Liliana, and I like my Liliana. They could get really aggressive here and chip with everything. I guess I could double block. Maybe I'm supposed to double block here and then shrink the Gurmag Angler. I could see that being the line here too. Double block here, shrink the fish. Sure. Man, I delved my thing. I delved my cast down earlier. That's unfortunate. So I could snap Brutality here, shrink the Gurmag Angler though. Snap Brutality to kill this. I could also drain them because these Fatal Pushes just like really aren't doing anything. They're also like at 5 here because they've been so aggressive with their health total. And then like I get to chump block the fish, and the next turn I tick her back and pick my other thing back up. Do I want to change anything here? I don't think so. It was confirmed to be a modern deck gainer. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight, by the way. I got over 700 people. Hope everyone's having a good Friday night wherever you're at. We're in our second league of what's going to be probably 4 this evening. Yeah, maybe Stroke is better than Fatal Push. I don't know. Like, they'll... Oh, that's really good against us. That is much better than our Surgical Extraction. Yeah. Yeah, I know the Fatal Pushes looked bad that last game, but killing Flameblade Adept is pretty important. Oh, that's a really good point, White Seal. Yeah, I've been pretty adamant on not liking Leyline in decks without like without Faithless Looting. But yeah, we totally could just play. We should just play Leyline in our sideboard because we have access to Champion of Wits. I didn't even think about that. That's a good suggestion. That is an A+ suggestion. It's weird how your mind gets so focused on these cards in specific situations that it can be it takes a second to adapt sometimes where you're like, oh, Champion of Wits is a similar effect, so we can like do this for the same reasons. It's a delve threat too. No delve threat. Okay. I don't know that we really have outs here though, right? I guess if they have like no more lands, I can Brutality kill this and then Liliana Edict this. I don't think you want that effect in those matchups. Not getting to untap your lands is a huge drawback. It is very, very sizable. Maybe I was supposed to just Brutality last turn. Although I guess if I Brutality last turn, I wouldn't have like had lands to cast the Liliana this turn. I'm gonna kill a thing and drain them here. Snapcaster Mage is pretty bad at this point. Like, we're in trouble if they have a land. We're kind of in trouble if they have another threat. There's a lot of things we're gonna have a hard time beating here. Going on, GZ. Yeah, double gassed. For GTQ, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed this month. Yeah, that was a little brutal. If we would have had Leyline, we would have been in a very good spot that game. And I definitely think that not having Leyline in my 75 is a pretty huge oversight. Is Moto ready for a nap? It feels like Moto's ready for a nap. 2.2 gigabytes. Ch-ch-cha! Kill it with fire! Kill it with sig kills. Kick it. Do 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 do. Boo do do boo boo. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't make the Leyline Champion of Wits correlation. Like we have Liliana the Veil too, so you have lots of ways to discard extra ones when we draw them. Disappointed in you, Hogland. Disappointed. Yeah, that's the best Bloodbraid Elf art in my opinion. In my most humble of opinions, that's my favorite Bloodbraid artwork. I do have one of my shirts on. So we got, this is one of our, for those of you just joining us, we've got a Hoogie on the front, and we've got message deleted on the back. I want to see how they wash, but if it washes nice and doesn't shrink up on me, I'm going to probably go with this company, I think. I'm always happy to be playing Magic, JW. It's a good time. It's a good time. Mono Faithless loot eggs. Bedlam Reveler. Alright, this is probably a slightly better matchup for us than Hollowed Boys. Twitch chat suggestion for every Magic deck we've ever played in Modern. What if we cut a bunch of the efficient cards and added more 4, 5, and 6 mana spells that you're going to die with in your hand? I got you, Arcane. What's a Friday night without a little bit of timeout? This means that we'll have both of our colors under a Blood Moon, which is nice. The old Thoughtseize bug, yep. Dr. Dre says, Bind Mind. Thanks for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. If you don't read the chat rules, you're probably going to get timed out at some point for breaking them. That's what happens. Actually, one of the things I need to wait to hear back on, you're talking about ways to give me your money. And one of the things I'm actually dealing with this vendor right now, too, that I'm trying to sort out, is for whatever reason, the way they sell shirts, they have a minimum cut that the person, like, the brand is supposed to get. And I'm like, I don't really want to cut from the merchandise. Like, I make my money from streaming. Like, the point of merchandise is supposed so people can be excited about, like, excited to represent Hoaglandia, right? With t-shirts and stuff. So I just want to, like, make the stuff as cheap as possible while still being good quality stuff. So I don't really, like... How long for Discord to sync? Usually it syncs once an hour, I believe. When you get timed out, you can't post in chat for 10 minutes. With the future in-laws, have fun. Alright, Alright, they could have a Fatal Push here. I could kind of get punished for not fetching white this game, but I really just didn't want to get Blood Mooned off of black, potentially. Which, again, we talked about this earlier when we played against Mardu Pyromancers. Like, the threat of Blood Moon existing in their deck warps the way we play and actually impacts us. Sounds like my minions are home. Probably gonna have a moment of muting here in a second. Bye-bye cast down. While the children come in. I got you, Hates Control. I don't want to leave you out in the cold wondering. So I'm here to deliver. We deliver here in Hoaglandia. This is another matchup where I like wish I just had Leyline of the Void in my sideboard. Glad we cast our white spell before that happened. How was the kid gym, boys? You got a train? Do you want to show the internet your stuffed animal? You want to show the internet? You got a Marshall?
I got more. They got Thomas.
You got a Thomas train?
Yeah, that's a big Thomas. That's a big Thomas.
Look at how much he loves it.
You're a good kid, child. Oh, did mom get you chicken nuggets too? What a lucky kid. Getting rewarded for how we fetched earlier feels really good. This Liliana is like absurdly good here. They picked Bedlam Reveler back up just now, so I'm gonna get to go land Liliana, discard your Bedlam Reveler. It's like I have Liliana and 2 spirits versus the top of their deck. I like have my colors unlocked from Blood Moon. Deal. They could have waited till we plussed her there. I'm just gonna mill 2 here because I have Lingering Souls in my deck. There's a quesarito from Taco Bell. Listen, chat. Don't blame Taco Bell for your digestive problems. That is not their fault, okay? It is not Taco Bell's fault that you can't digest food. Don't blame them. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and submit this and finish the rest of my quesarito here. Trying to surgical random cards out of your opponent's deck to get them is exactly the reason why bringing in surgical in every matchup is a meme, just for reference. Kiwi, can you please explain to me how cutting a white card, a Bushy, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. And answer your question, it's way too far away to know what I'm playing at Twitch, SCGCon. It's only half a white card in this deck. The Lingering Souls is only half a card. You can Champion Wits it away and not actually cast the front half. You can Liliana the Veil it away and not cast the front half. This is an Esper deck in the same way that Mardu Pyromancer is a Mardu deck. We are a blue-black deck splashing Lingering Souls with a bunch of ways to bin it. So this is pretty easy. Take K commands here and then take Liliana, I think. I think basic planes is really important against Field of Rune decks. Lingering Souls is a card that you want access to both halves against control decks. And a lot of the control decks have Field of Runes to take you off your only white source otherwise. Oh, I missed that they've been to Souls earlier. That's kind of bad for me. Kind of think of the basic planes as, well, that's actually absurdly good for me, right? Hey, I'm just gonna go Tar Pit tapped here and pass now that I drew that. I didn't play Tar Pit because if they drew Blood Moon, I wanted to have both my colors of mana. It's a looting flashback. So we're gonna take a hit for 5 here. They don't have a way to take the Damnation away from us this turn. We should be in a pretty decent spot. They discarded Bolt, they kept Swamp. I wouldn't be surprised to see Swamp Thoughtseize here, honestly. Which feels kind of bad. Sweet, that's so good for us. And they only have 2 instants or sorceries in their bin, so they're like pretty far off of ever being able to cast Bedlam Reveler yet. So we should have time to Thoughtseize a Bedlam Reveler before it comes down. We've stabilized at 11 here, and we do have a few Collective Brutalities to gain some health should we get lower than that. We need to like Thoughtseize into Liliana next turn, or Thoughtseize, Snap Thoughtseize potentially if they have like double Bedlam in hand. Even if they have a 5th untapped land tier, they're not going to be able to cast Bedlam this turn because it costs them 5 or 6 currently. Goblin Rabblemaster. Okay, that's cute. Hopefully we draw an untapped land tier so I can go cast down plus Liliana kill this. If we brick, we'll go cast down plus Thoughtseize. Collective Brutality. That's pretty good. Do I want to ditch... Huh. How do you feel about ditching the cast down? I'm actually going to lead on Thoughtseize, and that'll give me a clearer picture of what I want to do here, I think. Like if they have like an double instant sorcery. Fatal Push. Don't really care about that one, right? Yeah, with the Snapcaster Mage in my hand, I'm actually going to go ahead and use the Thoughtseize or the cast down as a drain here. They have a Fatal Push. We'll probably see them flashback looting next turn. Knowing that they didn't have a Bedlam Reveler in hand, I kind of wish I would have just full escalated the Collective Brutality, but I think it's a worthwhile gamble, because like Bedlam's their best way to get back in this game. Kinda. I mean, like, you're gonna get more rewarded for having more basics in your deck, so like, if the answer is like, do I play a 5th or 6th basic, or like, do I play a utility land, the answer might be play more basics now, which is good. Like, those types of cards that encourage people to be like, actually put a bunch of basics in their deck are good design. I think they're good for Modern as a whole. I wonder what they picked up here. Yeah, value. Get out of here. Sounds good, Inner. I don't know what Mausoleum Secrets does offhand. Is that the Read the Bones, that the blue black ones with Surveil 2 draw a card? Is that one? Get my Scour on here. Nothing useful there. Oh, it's the Tutor. That card sounds like way more effort than it's worth. It sounds like it'll be the next Traverse the Elven Wald, where people can like try and build decks around them, and then have it end up not being decent. Just too hard to enable. Yeah, I think Collective Brutality is a very good Magic card. Collective Brutality does everything these interactive decks want to be doing. It allows you to convert resources that aren't currently good in a game of Magic where you're dying very quickly into a resource that helps you stay alive. Like, I've heard people talking about, like, the Black Tutor and, like, Goryo's Vengeance. Like, as someone who's played a lot of Grishelbrand, that's not a card that deck's really interested in, I don't think. I think I just let this happen, because if they want to take my Snapcaster Mage, we can just roll Liliana back and get it back later. Gosh, having our own Faithless Looting is so sweet. Obviously not, like, exactly the same, but it's pretty close. I think I want to just, like, make my land drops at this point, since I'm only 2 away from flashing that back. Our looting flashes back for way better. Probably drew another brick. Yeah, Grixis Shadow could potentially be threat light enough that it could be reasonable, but... Zero, are you still watching? Are you watching this stream right now? You just messaged me on... No, you said you were playing FNM. It's really... People keep asking me if the Spirits matchup is better with the blue-red deck, and I really don't think it is. You just, like, Doomblade every one of their creatures, and eventually one of your threat sticks, and then you kill them with it. Yeah, kinda, but, like, you have so many lightning bolts that the chances of them double lording are pretty low. Speaking of Grixis Shadow. Gosh, chat, their hand could be anything. I'm gonna take the Inquisition here. Yeah, but, like, part of the reason why the Shadow deck is good is because it's not... is because it has those interactive elements. Like, if you want to play a deck that's a dedicated combo deck, you're probably better off playing something that's, like, not Grixis Shadow, right? Yeah, you have 8 Lightning Bolts, Burst Lightning, Grim Lavamancer, and Izzet Static Caster. You just, like, actually kill every card they put on the table. At least that's been my experience playing it. You just, like, kill actually every threat they play. And then eventually, they have... Bant Spirits has so little removal itself that, like, your first or second threat can, like, run them out of the game. Yeah, 2 Lava Men in the main for the current list that I've been playing. And also, like, your Delvers and your Nimble Obstructionists are, like, more ways to remove their creatures, basically. The classic 3rd Street Wraith. They had a Delve threat here. Spell Snare and Lavamancer are both cards that are very good in different places. And again, like, that's why a sideboard exists. Like, if they're not good, you board them out. Might need to close my door. Kids are squeaky. I don't know what Creeping Chill does offhand, no. Tasigur, again, is kind of a tough nut to crack for us as far as being able to take it off the table goes. Cast Down misses it. It's a good draw. So they have Dismember, Fatal Push, then a couple of other cards. We might just be able to race them here, honestly. So this puts them to 9. We block. We put them to 6. We can kill them. Seems okay. And, like, if they ever want to make mana with these, they're going to have to do a lot. And, like, the more we pressure their health total. Although, I guess they have Fatal Push and Dismember, so that this probably isn't connecting. Yeah, Fatal Push probably means this isn't connecting, so I don't really want to fire it up. I think I'm going to get in for 3 and just take a hit for 4 this turn. The final number of champions is less than 4. Maybe. I mean, like, you already have, like, a ton of inevitability with that archetype, though. Like, Dredge. Dredge has, like, buku inevitability just from, like, having a bunch of conflagrates in it. Zuchin, thank you for checking out, honey. I appreciate that. You always want to chump block the turn before you're dead. You don't want to wait till the turn they're going to kill you to try and jump block. Makes their removal that much better. Those are certainly draws. I have an Inquisition opponent. The Field of Runes them here. Find out how many basics they're on. It's a good piece of information to have. They do not have any more basics. Good to know. He's dead, Jim. Alright, so discard spells probably lethal. I know they have a Dismember in hand at the moment. Champion of Wits would be an absurd draw. Please be lethal. I just hate comments like that. Well, I'm watching this game where you haven't drawn any spells, Jeff, and it looks like you can't beat their spell that's currently in play. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you personally have drawn no spells, but everything to do with the fact that the card that's in play is very good against you. Really? Really? That's what you think? All right. All right. It's an interesting perspective. It's one I disagree with. I have four cards of our own that can tango with it in combat here. I've got these. We can just go around it. People always like to try and bring in stone. Twitch chat just likes to stone rain everybody in every matchup is the issue. And this is not a stone rain matchup. I know the opponent's deck is often light on lands, but the opponent's deck also operates on very little mana. So, like, trying to stone rain the deck that's playing a bunch of 1-mana threats is silly. Went and closed the door to upstairs real quick because it sounds like we're getting ready for bedtime, which might entail wailing and gnashing of teeth. No, this is very much a protect the queen matchup, which I think means keeping all the fatal pushes important, because while my opponent happened to kill us with Tasigur that game, there's going to be plenty of other games where all their threats are Death Shadows. I want as many ways to kill every one of their threats as I can get my hands on, basically. Because Pons is on my no-fly list. Because it's a really bad deck. It's not only a stroke like a touch narrow for this matchup, but this is a matchup that comes down to like that last game where we're hoping to draw cards to interact with things that they have in play. And cards like Disdainful Stroke are just really bad top decks once they have any threat in play. I'd much rather maximize my cards that can play to the board rather than try and like put cards that are reactive in my deck. Because my reactive cards are much less likely to line up into what they have going on because they require very specific situations to be good. Things aren't looking good for our hero, chat. We have a fat, stubby D over there. So we're going to need basically two ways to remove stuff. Young Pyromancer. Okay. That makes our Liliana the Veil much worse. I chose not to protect that. I think I'm supposed to sit on that for a hot second here. Because, like, next turn, I'm going to get to use the Thought Scour, and then maybe next turn I could snap cast down this, or, like, snap Inquisition plus block. Give me some potential here. Push the fish. They paid 2 mana for it. Thank you very much. Could you imagine if that was how that worked? That would be so good for us. It'd be so good for us. Alright, so the fact that they just let that resolve means I'm going to snap Inquisition them now. We need to try and poke a hole in their defenses so we can stick this Liliana. And I assume they're going to just stubby D this to not let us know what the other 2 cards are. Yeah, makes sense. Snapcaster's on jumping duty this turn. Ezreal, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. The cast down downside comes up a non-zero amount, but all of the 2 mana black removal that kills larger creatures has a downside that comes up in Modern. You're basically choosing between cast down or go for the throat for like which one you think is going to have a downside that comes up less often. Gurmag Angler is actually a very good draw here. And they don't have Snapcaster Mage because they would have snapped Stub. Gosh, that's good for us. Alright, so I get to do this and fetch a black source here and then stick the Gurmag Angler. Feels good, man. I mean, if they had another Stubby D, I didn't have an option. So I had to jam it in there and hope for the best. I like playing lands out till we get to 7, because Champion of Wits is going to die. That probably locks things up. This is another matchup where I wish I had Leyline of the Void. I played just like 3 Leyline of the Void matchups in a row. It's definitely an oversight not having that in the sideboard, I think. Yeah, seems pretty good. It's got 2 Delve threats. If they try and poke our hand apart, we'll get to stick Delve threats faster. Well, there's a reason why Armada around these parts is every deck's a 3-2 deck. It's because I mean it. That's why this format is the most popular competitive format Magic's ever had. This can do well with just like literal anything. That is, well. YOLO. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Ah! Why? Ay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Just let us keep the cantrip because they're a Stone Cold Master. Knew they didn't need it. They have Stub, Double Snap. To be fair, they explicitly put very few lands in their deck, so they could not draw them. Their deck has very few lands in it. So they have Double Snap and a Stub. So we'll grab Godless Shrine here, and then we'll go Darkslick Tasigur next turn. There's a boy. There's my boy. There's a champion of the witties. He's so witty. As promised, I'll take my 600k crown. You the man, Anner. Thank you for the absurd support as always. Took my Champion of Wits, sure. Dealerino. Do I want a Damnation here? Is it absurd to Damnation? I think it's absurd to Damnation. I'm just gonna go ahead and Lingering Souls. I think I linger and just start pressuring in the air. And then just, like, start activating this Tasigur to draw cards. Well, yeah, I know they have a stub, but, like, I'm letting them pick that, basically. Like, is this worth stubbing or not? Because, like, I'm kind of okay on board. Really just want to, like, draw lands for the next 3 turns, right? So we can, like, work our way up to this Champion of Wits flashback. Like, these spirits kill them pretty quickly. It's possible I should just flash these back, honestly. They're on, like, double snap stub. Lingering Souls wears them down pretty fast. Yeah, I think I'm gonna flash back Souls. We need more souls, man! We need more souls! Although if I activate Tasigur, I could play Fish Out. The following turn, I'm gonna get my souls going. I'm gonna get my souls. Need more soul power. Yeah, scour me, baby, scour me. Oh yeah, just do the dirty scour. Get him. Get him. Down, cycle street wraiths down to 6. It's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see how it pays off. From go to sleep for 8 hours, get up to Jeff still streaming. Good times. Thank you, Hemfu. I appreciate that. Catching us towards the middle of our second leg today. In our second league, we're gonna play one more after this, I think. Like to scour myself here, I think, and then probably play a big fish. Gosh, creeping tar pit's a great pickup here. So I get to attack them to 3. Maybe I'm supposed to attack them to 2. No, I think I want to be a hair conservative here. Are they gonna snap another scour here? Am I planning to stream my Warhammer? I am, Paradise Sal. I think I'm gonna record a how to play video off stream so I can have that to link while we're playing. And I think I'm gonna do some more Warhammer either like tomorrow or the day after. That is a Jester shirt. This is one of our merch samples that I got in. And on the back we've got this. So I need to see how it washes to make sure it doesn't shrink up. But if it doesn't shrink up, we're probably going to go with this company. Yeah, never not dead to Team or Battle Rage. That's like the motto of every person who's ever played against Death Shadow ever. What are we dead to? Team or Battle Rage. Oh, we're actually not dead to Team or Battle Rage now though, right? Because they don't have a third basic in their deck and they can't fetch shock here. We're just gonna have Jester art iterations for the front, I think. I think we're gonna do the 3 different Jester arts that I have with 3 different quotes on the back. Or fun sayings in the back, like message deleted. While we're waiting for the 4th batch of this league, Bob, currently 2-1 with Esper, Champion of Wits. If you, I would just like to say welcome to everybody, TGIF. But everyone's having a great start to your weekend. My name is Jeff Oakland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. If you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. So big shout out to all of them. Past subscribing to my channel, you can also help keep me here by checking out some of my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. BCW Supplies. Love to help you protect your very valuable Magic cards and other gaming accessories. They do sleeves and deck boxes and all sorts of other great stuff. You can save 10% on your orders at bcwsupplies.com with code Jeff10. Honey is a free browser add-on. When you install it using link bit.ly/HugelHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at no cost to yourself. What Honey does is when you're shopping online, it searches automatically for coupon codes for things you put in your cart and then tries to save you money on things you're buying anyways. And of course, Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Kristen and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 3 months now, and I really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back to traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new Lisa mattress with them by checking out links bit.ly/HugelbedUS and bit.ly/HugelbedCA. Head back on down into the 4th match here. Got 2 more matches with this Esper Champion of Wits deck, and then we're going to be moving on to green-white scales and wrapping up the night with blue-black fairies. I want to keep this on the draw. Double Tasker is like a hair awkward, but we've got Fatal Push. Celestial Colonnade, eh? Beetle is very close. This might be a play Snapcaster on 2 matchup. Yep. The Lisa mattress is one of the foam mattresses that they seal them up and you watch it expand. It was really weird. This is an easy secure the waste, right? And the next turn will probably snap Inquisition. Although next turn will probably actually just stick the Last Hope, right? Gosh, if only there was some place I had put all of these wonderful sideboarding notes so people could look there instead of asking me. Oh wait, I did. jeffhoagland.com/decklist. Click on search for blue-red tempo there and you'll be able to find links to not only my current deck list, but also my thoughts on how to play out different matchups, including sideboarding suggestions. So definitely like sticking Liliana here nice and early so that way we can potentially... I'm gonna get a Plains here in case we draw Lingering Souls. Yeah, I'm hoping we just like rush the Lily to her ultimate and then win the game via that method. So this is part of the reason why you need to use your brain. You need to put on your thinking cap and not take everything spoon-fed to you card for card. You need to think a little bit. The advice that is in my article is still applicable even though the deck list has changed, 6 cards. I know it takes a little bit more effort than just like copying down directly in and out. So that's part of the reason why I don't like writing sideboard guides, because like writing sideboard guides takes a lot of effort, and then like as soon as you change one or two cards, people are like, this sideboard guide's no longer useful. Help me. No, I have Field of Ruin for Celestial Colonnade. Did they draw the dirty D? I think they did. That's sad. Giving Liliana the D, so rude. So they have Path, Condemn, Terminus, Elspeth Sun's Champion in hand. That's not true. They've been to the Terminus. Scour, see what we hit here. Lingering Souls, it's pretty good. I think I'm going to bin a Tasigur here. Yeah, I'm going to bin a Tasigur. And I can snap Inquisition to clear this path out of the way. Then why is writing a sideboarding guide necessary? For a long time, I just never wrote sideboarding guides. I was very, very against them. But as someone who produces a lot of Magic content, the #1 most requested thing you get from people to write is sideboarding guides because they want to just turn their brains off and like have all the answers spoon-fed to them. That's why a lot of the times when I write, like, and the blue-red tempo is actually a great example of this. The blue-red tempo isn't just an in-out sideboard guide. It has some of that, but it has fundamental theory and talks about these are the types of cards that are good in these specific matchups. So there's a lot to it there, basically. We'll go ahead and Collective Brutality here and see what they've got going on. If they're smart, they hit the Sun's Champion. If they only have one target for this, that I kept only the Path, they could like Path and Response here. We need to keep them from... I take the Condemn because I prefer they Rampant Growth me. But again, that's why I think well-developed articles and ones that are well-written that help people become better Magic players are the ones that give you specifics and talk about the whys rather than the just always do this thing, basically. All right. Well, unless they found another thing here, we should get to pop Liliana next turn. Need a couple more looks here, potentially. A lot of these decks don't play that many Dissension Spheres, but they likely have 4 copies of Cryptic Command, 2 to 4 copies. So if they find a Cryptic Command, they can bounce Liliana before we can ultimate her. Field of Ruin is pretty good. This is just casting Elspeth. That's great for us. All right, let's split your stuff up here. Am I splitting like this? I think I'm gonna split like this. I can probably beat the Elspeth, especially if I have a Liliana the Last Hope. I guess I could split like this even, so that way they lose all their white sources if they keep this. And if they keep these, I then get to kill the Jace and they have like these Attention Sphere and like nothing else. Yeah, I think that's the split. Okay, I'm pretty happy regardless of what they do here. Anner asked for a timeout. Nah, I don't think I really need to split the tokens. Wow, that's so good for us. Oh, I guess I technically left them with a Field of Rune, huh? The Field of Rune gives them a way to get to white mana. Still in a pretty decent spot here. I guess they could draw Terminus. If they draw Terminus, they can clean my board out. And they can field me off the Creeping Tar Pit, which then leaves me a little bit cold to this. Maybe I'm just supposed to field. Yeah, I'm actually... So, again, this is like a part where we're kind of ahead. And the question I want to ask myself is, how do I lose this game? I think the answer to that question is, my opponent terminuses my board and fields my Tar Pit. And then, like, has Elspeth versus Liliana. And, like, Elspeth versus Liliana obviously favors Elspeth, right? Sure. Tar Pit in play should mean I'm good here. So I get to... Liliana's probably going to go to 2 here. I get to Liliana kill a token, which leaves them with 4 tokens, and Liliana at 3. I get to ship 2 spirits into Elspeth. I get to ship Creeping Tar Pit into Jace. I get to deploy Tasigur. And then my Liliana will be at 3 with 2 blockers, and they'll have 4 attackers. So my Liliana won't be dead on board. I'll have a Tasigur. Both their Planeswalkers will be dead. It's been a good game of Magic. A lot of back and forth. Well, I guess I still could have played Tasigur last turn. I don't know. I felt like a sweeper was like their best way to get back into it still. We've not cast the back end of Champion yet this league. This is actually a really good matchup to like keep track of. Like, is that going to be relevant, right? Because this is a matchup that's going to come down to grinding a little bit. All right, what do I not want to redraw with Tasigur? Don't want Fatal Push, Brutality, another Tasigur, Thought Scour, Inquisition, leave Snapcaster, Liliana the Veil in here. I need to take a moment of inspired. We haven't done Jeff Compose's new tweet on social media in a long time. Just need to get this out there. Worst part about writing sideboard guides, as soon as I change one card in my sideboard, I get 30 people asking for an entirely new guide. Use the first one as a basis to learn, please. Don't expect to be spoon-fed every small change. Oh, no! Oh, no! Thanks, Doldemonte. I appreciate the brand new Twitch Prime sub there. No, Ninja, get off my screen. No! Dang it, Twitter. Stop it. I want to click here. Damn it, Twitter. I will refresh your page now. He's dead, Jim. His tweet's absurd, by the way. He's on the road to 20 million YouTube subscribers. That's crazy. Someone posted, I read somewhere that he was the fastest non-music channel to accrue subscribers on YouTube. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's more than just Fortnite, right? Like, there are tons of people. That is a very good draw. So this lets them kill my Liliana the last hope. He appeals to a very specific type of person, and that's good. Like, he's good at what he does. I think he understands, he's good at the game. He understands his market well, and he markets himself well. What are we doing? We know all these are attacking the last hope. Come on now. It's possible I should just, like, sit and hammer on Tasigur here. And, like, make my land drops and just fill my hand up with crap for Champion of Wits to loot through. It's kind of also worth noting that Tasigur drawing you crap is, like, kind of synergizes with Champion of Wits. I think it was awkward there because my sequencing was bad. I think I should have played the Godless Shrine and then just activated Tasigur this turn. Of course, killing them here is kind of nice as well. No Terminus is an excellent start. You are not wrong. Who's got two thumbs and isn't playing around Settle the Wreckage? This guy right here. That's a good question. Like, what are cards they could have in their hand that they wouldn't be casting here? Teferi's got to be towards the top of the list, which is kind of scary. Although I guess, like, with Teferi, like, my board state's pretty okay against a Teferi. They get something like Cryptic Command here as well. Snapcaster Mage, yep. He's gonna target Opt. How greedy do they go? Do they, like, target Opt here? Do they, like, have enough health that they target Path to Exile and just, like, leave me a threat? Yeah, they're targeting Path to Exile. It's probably smart. Yeah, I think I'm probably supposed to Tasigur first here so they don't give me this back. I prefer not to get an Inquisition. Been two more Champion of Wits. Deal. Man, I mean, if we get to 7 mana here, we're gonna run them out. Unfortunately, we're out of basics in our deck. I've only got 5 and my island is exiled. Would Careful Study be playable in Modern? No, I don't think so. It's a pretty good draw. She chews up any expensive cards they can end up having left over in their hand. They drew the Cryptic. Okay. So kind of punished for playing that pre-combat. If they had something like... what's the word I'm searching for? If they had something like a... Settle the Wreckage, though, I would have wanted done it pre-combat, though. Well, it's possible that, like, Settle the Wreckage is, like, not common enough in the main deck that I don't really want to play around that. I'd rather play around Cryptic. Like, That is not the card I wanted to cast. Whew, glad I had the wrong mana floating. I would love to draw 2 cards. Thank you. I actually might want that one, huh? So we can push this Colonnade off a cliff. Bounce the D-Sphere is a pretty good line. It would have gotten rid of the fish permanently. This Fatal Push is probably pretty close to lethal here. We're only on 23 lands, which might be low. 23? 23 sounds right. Yeah, I think 23 is fine, Velik. Probably gonna be a concession push. Although I guess if they like hit their stupid Terminus, they're like right back in it. I'm gonna opt to not Champion of Wits here, just because Terminuses they're out. Magic. Magic. I'm gonna flash in Snapcaster Mage here. Yeah, 10 out of 10 Viper time. Sink your teeth into him. Low variance game, right? Alright, so I'm gonna flashback Lingering Souls here because it lets us beat Snapcaster Mage plus their Path in the Bin. If they find another sweeper, we're only 1 land off of flashbacking Champion of Wits anyways. We're 2-1 in this league. I feel like we're 2-1 in this league. Yeah, we're 2-1 going to game 3 here against blue-white. From these fatal pushes and these cast downs. That's pretty clean. Yeah, that was game 1, right? Did I say we're up a game? Or did I say we're going to game 3, aren't we? Yeah, we're right. We're up a game. It's definitely game 1. Maybe I'm not going to have it in me to get to blue-black fairies tonight. Although I guess Scales is pretty aggressive. This deck's kind of controlling it in some, and we're playing so much blue-white control. If Scales runs into a bunch of control, I might only do 1 more deck tonight. I'm up for 3 hours already. Fulminator Mages are threats with upside. Yeah, you also need to have a way to kill Celestial Colonnade in this matchup, as well as interacting with Search for Azcanta is also good, because we're like kind of grinding with them. I think if you have Fulminator Mages in your 75, you should basically always bring them in against Celestial Colonnade decks. It's just like a Grey Ogre that they eventually try to kill, and then when they have to kill it, you kill their creature land and kind of get a 2-for-1 out of it. It's like a 1.5-for-1 because you're killing a land, but it's a land that would have killed you eventually. Definitely just want some more lands with this hand. Thanks, Black. No problem. Questions are good. Yeah, MTGO players love Hallowed Fountain. I'm shocking this in on 1 because if they have Search for Azcanta, I'd like to take that away before they play it on 2. They have a Rest in Peace. Yeah, also want to get rid of that one. Did they top or bottom? They bottomed. Sweet. So no guaranteed second land here. People often refer to the extra mode on Collective Brutality as duress, but it's a lot worse than duress. Like, not being able to take Jace is a big deal. Willem, thank you for the 10-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm actually just going to go ahead and escalate this because I would like to flashback Lingering Souls next turn. I'd also like to get rid of their Cryptic Command here. So they have Path, Cryptic, Jace, Snapcaster Mage. So I'm going to guarantee take their Cryptic Command here. Next turn we'll go tap land, flashback Souls. This is a good example of why, like I talked about earlier, we're really just like a 2.5 color deck, the same way Mardu Pyromancer is a 2.5 color deck, because we don't have to have white mana to make this Lingering Souls be a functional Magic card. Between the Collective Brutalities and the Champion of Wits and our Liliana the Veils, have a lot of ways to interact with that. The Creeping Tar Pit's also very good here if we can hit a 4th land on time, because it allows us to keep their Jace the Mind Sculptor in check, which is nice. Yeah, I guess I flash this back. When I play Tar Pit. If they snap opt and hit the land and I miss my untapped land, this Jace could potentially bury us. So I could see an argument for going tapped land, hold up negate here. But I also like not getting beat down by the Snapcaster Mage. I don't know. Honestly, I think maybe 4 Champion of Wits was too much over the top. Like, they've gummed up a little bit, but the selection that they provide has been reasonable. We haven't actually embalmed any of them yet. Whatever that card's called, Unearth, Embalmed. I'm just a big fan of casting my spells. I don't think this deck's aggressive enough in general to take advantage of Eternalize is just completely wrong. I don't think this deck is quite aggressive enough to take advantage of, what's it called? Take advantage of the 2 extra points of damage. So I'd rather just, like, hedge my bets and always be able to cast my spells. So they have Jace plus Path to Exile here. I could cast this Inquisition as a method of, like, baiting them into Path to Exiling me, which I kind of don't mind. I think that seems reasonable. Like, if this Inquisition encourages them to, like, fetch Shock Path to Spirit Token here, I'm, like, kind of okay with that. They also realize that I'd be kind of okay with that and choose not to. They're going to get to flip the Search for Azcanta next turn, which kind of sucks for us. It's a card that could easily run away with the game. Which is, again, one of the reasons why bringing in Fulminator Mage is reasonable. I assume we're going to see this transform. Yep. Hopefully they just jam Jace and this negate works. They could have drawn Dispel or Spell Snare to stop this negate. But there's no way we're not just snapping this off. What's going on, Saba? I actually took a break in the middle today, to be fair, too. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. You had 1 draw. You had 1 draw. Yay. Scour myself. Thoughtseize. They have one card. I'm going to hold on to the Thoughtseize. So I think it's really easy to be too aggressive with your discard spells in a matchup like this. I'm going to hold the Thoughtseize until I get to a point where I like really want to force a threat through. So I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and like snap Thought Scour here while they're tapped out. Just like get my threat into play and cantrip it. And then just like start pressuring them with like our 6 power worth of dorks since they're down to 13 already. Yeah. Buried a Champion of Wits for value. That sweet, sweet value Champion of Wits berry. Alright, so since we have a Snapcaster Mage and another Scour, I'm just gonna like hang tight on the Creeping Tarpon attack, I think. Another reason to kind of sit tight on the Thoughtseize for now too is because they have the Search for Azcanta. The average card quality in their hand is going to be going up pretty drastically. Well, this is actually kind of sweet sequencing now, so I get to go ahead and pull the trigger on this, which forces them to activate it in response. So if they like get something good off of it, like a Teferi or a Jace, I get to Thoughtseize at this turn, which is nice. Like super rewarded for holding on to Thoughtseize for the time being. And grab our basic planes here in case we draw the front half of Lingering Souls. Matchups like this, or someone asked earlier, was the basic planes worth it if we're just like basically pseudo splashing Lingering Souls? And matches like this are exactly why you want the basic planes. They're a Field of Rune deck and you want to just kind of keep them out of your stuff. Oh gosh, so they draw Negate and Cryptic. Spell Queller, that... Huh. That is, that's like really bad for us. That is super aggressive. Tasigur is a great draw because it means I can fire up Tar Pit and still cast it. If this induces a Cryptic Command tap draw. We're like pretty far off of racing us with the Spell Queller. Without any burn in their deck, this feels like a really, you know, like cross your fingers and hope type play. And if they have a Path to Exile for this Tasigur, like that's kind of okay with me because there's a Champion of Wits in my bin, which I'm going to be working towards flashing back here with it. This stream is generally a bastion of constructed. What's my opinion on playing 60 cards versus playing an incorrect number of cards? That's, I'll think about it. Deal. I still have 2 basics in my deck. God bless. I have 1 card left here. Any untapped land lets me draw 2, draw 4, discard 2. They have another Cryptic Command. Maybe they have a Snapcaster Mage. They could have a Snapcaster Mage in their hand. Which means I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 3 here because I have Snap Negate up now. Maybe I should just hold up Snap Negate this turn. Yeah, maybe just holding up Snap Negate is better here. No, I don't think so, Jake. I think that card's probably just not good enough. Yeah, I don't have enough mana to eternalize it. Wow, they had another Cryptic Command. Yeah, I guess maybe I should have just held Snap Negate up. Of course, they're also at like 7 and I'm at 16, so I feel like we kind of can play a little loose, but yeah, maybe just like pass the turn and not play the Champion of Wits out there was better. Just like hold up Snap Negate. kind of pan-dazed. I think, wow, did they draw Vendilion Click? Okay, so they don't really care about this, but like I'm gonna get to smash with everything here. And they're kind of losing this race, right? Yeah, I think I played incorrectly. I should have just held up Snap Negate there. Yeah, the fact that we have Tar Pit just like closing out here is great. Like they're going to 1 here on this attack. I don't know why they're attacking with the Spellcaller so aggressively. Like we're at such a high health total at the moment. Like the first couple of times when they like had Cryptic Command and wanted to be cheeky with it, I guess it was okay. But like this turn where their play is like just Vendilion Click, it like lets me get in with all my 2/1s for free. I have no idea why they're blocking the Champion of Wits. All right, and they hit Terminus. Sure. So you're dead to my Creeping Tar Pit. Yeah, I definitely think 4 Champion of Wits is probably not good. I feel like this is the matchup where if Eternalizing was going to be a thing that we were going to be doing, this is where it would happen. And it just, like, didn't happen here. I think one of the big differences, so, like, when we talked about Champion of Wits feeling reasonable in the blue-white Tron deck, even when we didn't have Tron, that deck still had Talismans in it, or Signets, or whatever they were called. So that deck had a lot of mana in it. So I think maybe with only 23 and no ramp at all, maybe it's not good enough. We have a blue-white Eldrazi deck that is Champion of Wits alongside blue-white Signet, or blue-white Talisman, so that could still be reasonable. So I'm excited to try it out in that shell after that. So we're 3-1 in this league. We've got one more match here. We're guaranteed to be a real modern deck, though. It's real, boy! Seems very good. Fetch basic Swamp on 1 here. Yeah, maybe. That's definitely an archetype that like wouldn't mind a Faithless Looting style effect. Well, I guess I will take your Snapcaster Mage. Always take the Snapcaster Mage, chat. That's actually a really good draw. Because it means I can snap Inquisition and take something next turn. I guess I kind of, if I don't kill the Devoted Druid on 2, I'm like kind of risking something, but I think it's worth a small risk. They have to draw like exactly Vizier into payoff. So I think it's, and I guess I get to break that up with Snapcaster Mage even, so it's probably fine. So I'm gonna grab Godless Shrine here and then snap Inquisition. Take a peekaboo at what they've got. Because, like, getting to Inquisition, the Kitchen Finks would be really nice. That card's annoying. Court of Calling. Alright, so I'm obligated to take the Court of Calling here, because if they drew Vizier next turn, they would kill me. I guess with Lingering Souls, the back half of Kitchen Finks is less annoying than it otherwise would be. Get to, like, block that really nicely. Gross. Oh, they're getting back another Eternal Witness. That's super unfortunate for us. Because I can always kill the Druid later, and if they play the Kitchen Finks and have no other cards in their hand, I don't have an appealing thing to Snapcaster Mage. I like to get Snapcaster Mage into play. So their hand right now is Kitchen Finks, Eternal Witness, and then the other thing. If I tap out for Lingering Souls here and my opponent draws Vizier of the Remedies, I die. Or if they draw a Tutor into it, I'm probably just supposed to kill the Devoted Druid. But like if I kill the Devoted Druid, they're just gonna witness it back. I'm gonna play Lingering Souls here and pass the turn, I think. Spep, thank you very much for the 9-month tier 2 resub there. I appreciate that. If you would like to drop me a message in private, you can let me know what deck you'd like me to bump in the queue this month with your 2-2 sub. I appreciate that extra level of support there. You should read Collective Brutality. In fact, I'll give you a quick 10-minute break there to figure it out. I can't get 2 combo pieces, Velik. That's not how Magic works. Oh, they're gonna cord here now, which means if they drew a payoff, I'm dead. Yeah, maybe not killing this was greedy. Yeah, if they picked cord back up, I would have done this, obviously. And I'm sure their last card is like cord or Druid. Like the extra Eternal Witness was just like too good. Yep, that's how it goes. Because like if I killed the Devoted Druid, I'm just like killing it again the following turn. But maybe with the pressure that I have, just like killing it and killing it again is enough. But then like I died to this Gavany Township. Matches like this are just like a nightmare for this style of deck. We're just like it's like the Collective Company deck we just got done playing, right? Where you just like have all these creatures that are just like constant 2-for-1s, and we don't have a fast clock. And the couple of pieces of fast clock that we do have are like these big dumpy delve creatures that like can't attack through on the ground ever. Alright, so bringing all the Doom Blades. I'm just going to trim 2 Champion of Wits here. I think 4 is probably too many to begin with. Maybe Surgical is good enough in this matchup, just as like a way to like break up their Eternal Witness loops. Is Cage too narrow for the sideboard? I really don't want Grafdigger's Cage in my Lingering Souls deck. Sounds good, Aner. I'll get you later. I might actually be done after this. I'm kind of beat. Never not the Eternal Witness. At least we get to Fatal Push the Noble Hierarch here, since I have a Go for the Throat to clean up a Devoted Druid if they draw another one. I don't really need to worry about white mana again here for the Lingering Souls just yet, because I have Champion of Wits in my hand, which is nice. Yep. So they have double Court of Calling and then one card I don't know here. Probably just those two. Worth noting they can't Court of Calling yet. Ugh. Company is just such a beating for these fair decks. You know, it's really funny. People always talk about like Birthing Pod being overbearing. And it's like, I just feel like when Wizards makes decisions regarding Modern, they just like constantly make decisions that just like kick the fair decks in the stones. Like, as someone who plays fair interactive decks that are looking at like 1-for-1 people a lot of the time, I would much rather play against Birthing Pod, a card that I can just destroy after they get one activation out of it, than play against Collected Company. Collected Company just like putting 2 things into play is just like such a beating. Right, well, so like, we've kind of picked them apart here, but like, they have they have this Duskwatch recruiter, and they have Gavany Township if they hit one more land. Yeah, I think we're actually gonna do some Overwatch after this league, Drowning Cow. I was thinking about doing more leagues, but I think I'm kind of beat. Alright, I'm off it. I just need to sit down for a little bit and zone out. Come on, you stupid desk. Nope, wrong button. So, Champion of Wits, which was kind of the card that I was like looking to see, it was less impressive than in this deck than it was in the Blue-White Tron deck. We actually just never eternalized it in 5 matches of Magic, and we played against Blue-White Control at one point, which is like one of the matches that I expected the card to be really good in. It just like wasn't relevant there to be able to eternalize it. So, I don't know. I don't think I'd be interested in, like, exploring this more. I think if I wanted to play, like, a blue-black core, I think I would explore the blue-black Thing in the Ice deck that we played a little bit on stream some more. I felt like Champion of Wits was kind of a failed experiment in this shell. Just, like, didn't get there or, like, do its thing often enough or consistent enough for us to be excited to play it. That being said, at some point in the future, I'm not down on Champion of Wits in general and Modern altogether just yet. In the queue, somewhere lurking, we have this list, which was loosely based on the Blue-White Tron deck that we played. I'm interested to see how Champion of Wits plays out in this. This deck has 24 lands and talismans in it, so it's probably going to get to 7 mana a little bit more consistently. So I'm interested to see how something like this plays out when we get down to it in the queue. I think Christy and I are going to play some Overwatch for a little bit. We stream that over on her channel, so I'm going to go ahead and raid folks over that way. If you'd like to hang out while we play that, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'll catch all of y'all around, and I'll be back at some point in the future. Need to figure out. I'll probably do a weekend stream again this weekend. Need to figure out if I'm going to do tomorrow or Sunday night, though. Be sure to follow on the Twitters for notifications on all that.